Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ainul Izzuddin bin AZMAN, metric number 1191629. So today I want to tell about our website, which is Volant Tech and Services website. So for my part is homepage and product detail page. So for the homepage, first of all, this homepage will issue a welcome to Volant Tech and Services pop-up windows. In this pop-up window, I use JavaScript by using var pop-up equal alert welcome to Volant Tech and Services. Next, the main thing in our website, we use the same color theme on our entire website. Only three main colors, namely black, yellow, and white. Next, I will go to the navigation bar. For the navigation bar, I divide into three class names, which are on nav left, nav right, and logo. I use unordered list and IL text on the navigation bar. Each of my navigation bars use a hover style for black to white. Each navigation bar can be linked to another page, as well as the Volant text logo can be linked to the main page. Next, in the middle of the main page, I display a slideshow featuring our group members with their words that I edited. Here I use JavaScript style to generate my slideshow. I use the Carousel JavaScript plugin. The Carousel is a slideshow for cycling through a series of content. So I use this style for every slideshow on our webpage. Next, footer. I use a yellow background for the footer, then use paragraph tag as text for Volant text senarai berhad. Alright, next detail page. For this page, I use the title Css ROG Delta, which shows the brand and model of the product. I use a slideshow on this page, but the size is different, which is 360 pixel. For product detail, I use the div tag class name product detail right. I use h3 for head and style small for product code. And details of this product, I use h5 and bold the text. In the buy now button section, I use the now for the class. Here I also use a hover style to change the color yellow to white. For the feature section, I use the div tag class names product detail feature. For the header, I use h2, and for the subhead, I use h3 and underline. Next, for the subhead detail, I use a paragraph tag. And finally, for this page, I embed a YouTube video next to the feature section. I use the iframe element, which contains the video size and the YouTube link. And for the information of my audience, I use the same HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to all product detail page, but different content only. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello there, my name is SAMSI. So I want to continue about the service part. I create consists of two pages, which is PC repair and PC upgrade. First of all, for the PC repair page, the user will see 4 different type of image as the convenient we serve, which is improved speed computer, laptop repair, PC repair, and virus and malware removal, and all of them is clickable. On this page, for the HTML, I use division class named column to describe only on this column part. Consists of 4 different type of repair I mentioned earlier. For the 4 arranged image below the navigation bar, I put division class named cut to separate each one of the image. Then I use img tag and insert image file .jpg that I install from Google, and I use h1 tag for the title of every part of the image. For the CSS, I use variable type of tag for the column class such as position, display, margin for the positioning of the column. Thus, for the cut class, I use color and margin tag to position the image and the title. Alright, when the user click on the image, it will appear a new web page that gives description about the image the user click. For the HTML, I put the description in division class name word1. that include the #1 tag for the title, P tag for the paragraph that tell the detail, and lastly a href tag that link button book now to the form page. For the CSS, I use same class name word1 because all the 4 images have the same characteristic and display such as font text, font size, text align, and color. Proceed to the PC upgrade page. For the HTML, I also use division class named cut and word, but I put different number on it. I use similar tags such as #1 for the title, such as custom PC setup, img tag for the image, a href tag for the clickable button above the details, and li tag for the list that I tell about the detail of the product or the item. On the CSS, I separate the class into cut, word, and word A. I use transform translate tag to coordinate the text on the web page, and the other tag is similar with the other tag I told earlier on the PC repair page.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hashimah binti JANUIN, metric number 1191634. Today, I will explain to you about the page that I create, which is online support page. First of all, I have put several BR, which is min break, at the top, so it will have an appropriate space or gap between the content and the menu section. As we can see here, there are 5 different titles for each 5 divisions here. I will explain to you only one division because it has the same coding to represent the another division. There are 5 divisions that I put here with same coding in CSS in terms of max width, which is only 1360 px with margin auto, and it use font family which is Century Gothic with color #FFF, which representing white color for the paragraph text for each division. Text align is left, so the text started from the left. Their position for each 5 divisions is relative with left 50%, so that they will appear on the middle and center of this page. Also, their width along 1366 px with height auto. Even though the CSS coding for each of these 5 divs is similar, I still put different class for each of them. First div, I named the class as virus, and the second class for second div is labeled as how. The third one is named as overheat. The fourth class for fourth div is labeled as laptop, and the last one is guidance. I put the different class for each of these divs so that I can simply arrange their content well. For the images, I have placed them in a folder, then I link the folder with accurate image for each division. Besides that, for each of these 5 divisions, there is text created in paragraph within P and P close tag and H1 with H1 close tag, which indicate as a title. For these titles, if we move the mouse cursor over the title, it will change the color from white to yellow due to the coding functionality in CSS in the hover part. Moreover, we can also click on each of these titles and it will bring us to the another page related page with what we have clicked before. So when we click the title, we will go to the another page which display more detailed information related with the text in P tag on the previous page. For your information, this page is another page of HTML that I created and I name it as a virus shortcut.html, and I have also done the same thing for the previous another 4 titles. As we can see here, this page provides information on how to use shortcut virus remover software. All of these steps located inside the div with class name text, and I set up its style using CSS. Between company logo, image, and title, I put a few breaks to make a blank space. This text that is inside the div I put within the P and close P tag. Meanwhile, the both bold text I put them within H1 and B tag. Under this sentence, I have put a link that will bring users to a website which they can download the virus remover software. The words of download here, I put them inside the yellow color border which function as button with its border radius 10 px for each corner. I've also edited the border in CSS coding which is in .text a hover so that the color will be changes from yellow to red when the user puts their mouse cursor over the text. Also, not to forget that 3 images that indicate inside this div, I put them in a folder, namely virus software.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad AIZUDDIN bin ALIAS. My metric number is 1192735. Okay, for the next page, I will explain about HTML and CSS page that I create for the page shop and sales item page. As you can see here, this is the page for shop that highlight what kind of items does the company sells. At the page shops, as we can see here, I put 4 hexagon with different image and types. First hexagon is for headset, second hexagon is for keyboard, third hexagon is for mouse, and last hexagon is for webcam. Every title of shop are clickable, which will link in to the shop detail, will show customer about sales item HTML page. Okay, when I try to click one hexagon shop for headset, the system will bring me to sales item for headset. Okay, I go back for the main page shops. Okay, let's start explaining my page in more details version. We actually have a multiple of division. As you can see here, every hexagon I put image and #2 which is header 2, and I link in every header 2 with every item.html page. For href, I actually use inline CSS for the href, and also #2 as to show you that I insert the inline CSS for this page. Okay, next we go to Css Hexagon shop. This hexagon has height and width of 100%. The background of hexagon is code 000, is mean black color, and as you can see here, I also put coding for clip pair. So we can see clip pair for hexagon here, I use 6 different percentage that represent the measurement of each vertex of the hexagon. Then each hexagon have white shadow under it. For shadow color, I use radial gradient with 4 code that is white shadow, and the transition is 0.5 second. Then when I move my mouse on each hexagon, the image will be changed to blue and name of item type will be appearing. For every text H2, I justify to center align item and text align also center, and the color of each text is white. Okay, let's try to explore the headset page. So as we can see here, this is page for headset gaming for sales. This page has 5 types of headset with different brand and price such as Asus, Mango, SteelSeries, Vintage, and Sades. And here each type of headset input their own name class such as item A, item B, item C, item D, and lastly item E. Each class have image board with image of each brand. So here we have 5 image with for 5 different brands, and every image board have detail board for brands such as name of headset, brand, and price. Okay, every board here are clickable. When I try to click each board, the board will change color to blue, and button buy now will appear. Every brands of headset button by now are linking to href detail item page. Okay, let's see more detail about CSS for each board item. As you can see here, this is the CSS for board width is 300 ps, board shadow use coding RGBA for gray color, border radius 10 ps, overflow hidden, and the margin is 25 ps. Next, let's see CSS slide image in every board. Each image I put size width and height 100%, object fit is covered with board sizing is border box. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is SYAZWANI binti PASUSAI, metric number 1191699. I'm really excited to explain and share our group's coding for the part of About Us and Terms and Condition. For your information, I put About Us under section class that I named as About. As we can see, the words for history, vision, mission, our Volant Tech, and services have the same size. In HTML, I coded it as H3, that means heading 3. In CSS, I started with section H3 and set text align as center. So, the output will be center like the word history, and I color it with hashtag FFCB0C using hex value that brings the color of yellow. We can see under the word we have underline. So we just needed to put CSS text decoration underline. Now let's see the words with white color. In HTML, I use P element which mean paragraph. In CSS, I'm using font family Century Gothic with font size 7 pixel. I also set the margin bottom 20 pixel and the padding right and left with 200 pixel. As we can see at there, we have 6 pictures with the same format. For the picture, I put it under class name item and then I using code image source. That's the format if we want That's the code if we want to put a picture. And then in CSS, I set it is display block white 100% and border radius 6 pixel. That's why if you see the output, the box of picture, we can see the effect of radius. That's why we put it border radius 6 pixel. For the yellow box and all the detail in the box, it's under info class. For the first line, we use H5 and the next line we use H6 where the size quite small than H5. For the icon, we put under another class which is social link and use link code ahref. In CSS, we use align item center and text align center, so all the thing will be center. And then we also put background color yellow with hex value hashtag FFCB0C and text color black. We also set border radius 8 pixel so the box got the radius shape. For the icon in CSS, we set background as color as hashtag FF same to white color with border radius 15%. The border radius more circle than the box outside due to the percentage we set. The height and width we set 32 pixel. Now we move on to the another page which is terms and condition. We put it under class condition. In HTML we use H1, H2, BR, H3 and P element. For the terms and condition words, I use H1 and then to have the space I use BR element which is for land break. After that, the words of return and refund policy, shipping policy and payment policy, I use H2. After that, I also use P element which is paragraph to describe the content under H2. After that, in CSS, for all the font, I set as font family Century Gothic. After that, the H1 with color yellow and the text decoration underline. For the H2 and H3, we set color as white with text align left.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AFIQ BINTI SAIDIN. My metric number is 1191635. As you can see, it is the contact page. First of all, I want to explain about this division. In this division have a map where I put it in the iframe. Iframe is used to display a web page within a web page. For this map, as you can see, the iframe are styled with no border, width of 100% and height of 450. Then the source link, I got it from Google Map where I copy the embed link and paste it here. Next, moving in this division with the class name form. As you can see, in this form have a table with select option where the user can choose any option in this form. Then under the service, we can see the product, name, email, phone and message. All of these are in the input text. After that, the submit button in division with class name N. As you can see, in this division have a input submit, where after the user fill the form, then clicking the submit button, it will release the pop-up that alert the user with the message, "Thank you for using our service." And by pressing OK, it will bring the user back to the home page. And the last one is the division with class name square. In this division, as you can see, address, email, Facebook and fax are put in the H4, while the next one are in paragraph. So, that's all from me. Thank you.